Imagine you found your dream home or the car of your choice. You just need to complete your financing. But your loan is denied because of information on your credit report. So when was the last time you looked at your credit report? I'm Sylvia Watford, financial educator with Virginia Credit Union. Join me in understanding your credit report so that you can ensure your report is accurate.
The following presentation is brought to you by Virginia Credit Union.
So why should you get a copy of your credit report? Think of your credit report as your report card. You remember in school when you were getting all those A's and B's and your parents rewarded you? It's the same thing with your credit report. When you have good credit, you will be rewarded, but you want to review it to make sure that it is accurate. The fastest white-collar crime is identity theft. So how would you know if you're a victim if you were not reviewing the credit report? Reviewing the credit report also will save you time and money. So when you decide on that dream house or the car of your dreams or the car of your choice, you can save time and money by looking at that credit report ahead of time. We see so much about improving your credit score. And frankly, I think the credit score gets a little bit too much publicity because the credit score is simply based on what is in the credit report. So we need to be looking at our credit report to ensure that it is in fact accurate. Now, how do you get a free copy of your credit report? I'm sure that you've seen all kinds of information about getting the free copy of your credit report, but I want to direct you to the site that is directed by federal law. The Fair Credit Reporting Act was amended in 2003 that states all of us as consumers can get a free copy of our credit report online at annualcreditreport.com or by mail or by phone from the 3 credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So this is the official site that you can get your free copy of your credit report. Now that you have a copy of your credit report, what exactly is in your credit report? There are 4 basic parts of the credit report from the 3 credit reporting agencies. The only thing that is different is the format. I want you to know what those 4 key parts are so that no matter which report you are looking at, you can identify the 4 key parts of your credit report. The first part is the identifying information. This would include your name, your address, your social security number. You want to ensure that all of this information is correct. And you notice on the slide here to the right, you see that you have the option to dispute anything that is not correct. We'll talk a little bit about the dispute process later on. The second part of the credit report is really the meat of the credit report. This shows your creditors as well as your payment history. It actually shows when the account was opened, what the monthly payments are. And look at the bottom here. You want to see all of these greens, which indicates that you are paying it and you have paid that piece of credit on time. The third part of the credit report will indicate any negative information. If you have been late on any of the payments, it will indicate that as well. So you see in this example, you see that orange light there, and that shows that for that month, the payment was late. So all of the negative information will be in a certain place on your credit report. The fourth section is the inquiry information. That indicates who is looking at your credit report. It's very important that you are aware of this. When you give someone permission to look at your credit report, let's say you want to purchase a car and you give them permission to look at your credit report, it will show as what we call a hard inquiry. However, when you check your own credit report, it is called a soft inquiry and it doesn't impact your credit score. So let's talk a little bit about these inquiries. Again, the hard inquiries are authorized by you to the creditors. It impacts your credit score because it stays on file for 24 months, but it impacts your credit score for 12 months. Hard inquiries, when you go to make major purchases, it does not negatively impact you if you are doing those inquiries within a short time period. And remember, it will stay on your file for 24 months. A soft inquiry does not impact your credit score. This is when you request your own copy of your credit report, and you can do this as many times as you would like. Now, you may have received promotional offers in the mail that will tell you, oh, we love you so much. Don't you want to get this credit card? When you receive those promotional offers, they are the result of a credit card company getting the name and the address of individuals who they want to solicit credit from. So what they can do is they can request information from the credit reporting agencies, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and they will pay for that list. And then you will get that promotional offer. That does not impact your credit score. And I will actually show you later on in the presentation if you don't want your name sold for this purpose. Soft inquiries stay on your credit report for 12 months. The question that always comes up is, well, how long will information stay in my credit report? The good thing is that as you pay your creditors on time, that will stay in your credit report 10 years from the date of the last activity. Now, if you've had some challenges and you were not able to pay your creditors on time, it would be 7 years from the first delinquency. So let's look at an example. Let's say I'm delinquent on my credit card for the month of January, February, and March. It will stay on my credit report 7 years from the first delinquency, which would be in January. Any collection account will stay on our credit report 7 years from the original creditor. And if I end up in a situation where I need legal protection and I end up going bankrupt, it will stay on my credit report 10 years if it's a Chapter 13 and 7 years if it's a Chapter 7. So this indicates how long information will stay on my credit report. The good thing is that your credit report with TransUnion as well as Experian will indicate the month and the year the information will come off of the credit report. So when you're looking at your credit report, I want you to be aware of certain rights and responsibilities that we have under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If you are denied for credit based on information in your credit report, you are also allowed to get a free copy of your credit report within 60 days. If you find that you're a victim of identity theft, you can also get a free copy of your credit report. If you want your name blocked so that it cannot be sold for solicitation purposes, as I mentioned before, you can choose to opt out. Simply call the number provided here, 1-888-567-8688. This will allow you to opt out with all of the 3 credit reporting agencies. You also have a right as a consumer to put a credit freeze on your credit report. This means that no one can access your credit file without your permission. The last and probably one of the most important rights that you have as a consumer is that you can dispute incorrect information on your credit report. So if you don't agree with what is on your credit report, let's go through what that dispute process looks like. Step number 1, you want to, of course, review your credit report. And you're going to annualcreditreport.com to get the copy of your credit report from, again, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Now, if you want to dispute something, you want to make sure that you follow this dispute process with each credit reporting agency. The second step is reach out to the credit reporting agency. You can do that online. Remember, I showed you where that dispute link was. If you pulled up your credit report online, you can also dispute it by mail, and you can dispute it by phone. So you basically indicate that you don't agree with the information that's on your credit report. So let's say, for example, I pull my credit report and it shows that I owe $200 to on a cell phone bill. It's showing that I didn't pay the cell phone bill and I want to dispute it. I'll start the dispute process with the credit reporting agency. The credit reporting agency then will start their investigation and they will send this information to the creditor. So they'll send it to the cell phone company, and they will basically indicate that Ms. Watford is disputing this information on her credit report. The cell phone company then will do the investigation as a creditor, and they will report back to the credit reporting agency. Once they report back to the credit report agency, there are basically three choices. One, if they indicate from their investigation that it should not have been on my credit report, that information is removed from my credit report. The second option is that if they cannot indicate one way or the other, if it belonged on my credit report, it will still be removed from my credit report. The credit reporting agency will remove it from my credit report. The third option is if they say that information does belong on my credit report, it will in fact stay on my credit report. This entire process typically takes about 30 days, but the credit reporting agency does have within 45 days to provide me with that response. So now I've gone through the dispute process and I've had that information removed. So what is my next step? For me to know what is on my credit report, what I want to challenge you to do is within the next 24 hours, get the copy of your credit report at annualcreditreport.com. Read through the credit report to make sure that it is in fact accurate. You can follow the dispute process. And as a bonus, if you are a member of Virginia Credit Union, we partner with the financial coaching company Balance, where they will walk through the dispute process with you and address any questions that you have. So remember, don't be surprised when you decide to get that house of your dream or purchase that car that you've been looking for. Be proactive and get the copy of your credit report first.